Episode 7, The Unveiling. The four companions, huddled in the dim light of the hidden chamber, reeling from the weight of the Abbott's words. The Book of the Second Death, known as the Shivoham, had demanded a choice from them, a sacrifice that none were prepared to make. The air felt thick, charged with a surreal energy that each of them struggled to comprehend. As Charlie exchanged a glance with Eleanor, he felt something gnawing at the back of his mind. His thoughts were unfocused, as though a fog clouded his senses. He brushed it off as tension, but somewhere deep down, a faint doubt lingered. Rajan Singh appeared in the doorway, his figure cutting a stark shadow against the candlelit walls. His presence was an unwelcome jolt, yet strangely familiar, as if he'd been part of their journey all along. Singh's smile was smug as he looked around, eyeing the Shivoham on its pedestal with barely concealed avarice. "So, you've made it this far," Singh drawled, his voice dripping with disdain. "But the real question is, are any of you prepared to actually use it?" "You don't belong here," Julian snapped, his voice taut with suspicion. "The Shivoham wasn't meant for you." Singh shrugged. "Oh, but here I am. And unlike you, I understand the true value of such an artifact. It's not about wisdom or enlightenment. It's about control." Ignoring their protests, he strode toward the book, reaching out to touch its ancient cover. The group held their breath, expecting some grand reaction from the Shivoham. But as Singh's fingers brushed its surface, the book remained silent, inert, no grand revelation or mystical aura emanating from it. He frowned, clearly puzzled, his smugness giving way to frustration. What is this?" Singh stammered, confusion etching across his face. "Why does it show me nothing?" The Abbott's voice, calm but stern, cut through the tension. "The Shivoham reveals only to those who are sincere in their search. It cannot be forced to reveal its secrets." Singh's face twisted in anger. "You think I care about your metaphysical nonsense?" He turned back to the book, shaking his head as he muttered to himself, "There has to be a way." But as he spoke, the ground began to tremble slightly, and an intense feeling of disorientation washed over each of them. The Shivoham's pages began to glow, and an overwhelming sensation of vertigo overtook them. Each companion felt as though they were being pulled out of their own minds, thrust into visions of alternate realities. Charlie found himself in a world of serenity, where he had left behind every regret and pain. Eleanor, surrounded by people in need, felt herself brimming with purpose as she offered comfort and aid. Julian, haunted by his past, saw a path of redemption before him. And Singh, who desired control, found himself staring at a life devoid of purpose, empty and meaningless. Yet as each vision intensified, a sliver of awareness crept into their minds, a nagging doubt that whispered that none of it was real. Something wasn't right. Eleanor, grasping at the edges of her vision, began to realize that she felt disconnected from herself, as if her experience was somehow crafted, tailored to deceive. Suddenly, she gasped, breaking through the haze. "This isn't the Shivoham," she murmured, clutching her head. "This is something else." Charlie, too, began to shake off the fog. "Wait, how did we get here? I don't even remember leaving my chamber." Julian's eyes narrowed as he focused on the lingering taste on his tongue. "The tea," he muttered, realization dawning. "The tea they gave us. It was laced with something. It's inducing hallucinations." The Abbott's serene face flickered, a crack in his calm demeanor, as though he had been caught off guard. But before anyone could react, Singh burst out laughing, his voice echoing against the chamber walls. "So, it was all a game, then?" His voice was bitter, but there was an odd gleam of satisfaction in his eyes. The Shivoham is nothing but a projection, a talisman of illusions. The abbot's voice was even but tinged with regret. The Shivoham is real, but its power is not what you think. It does not reveal knowledge, it reveals desire. It is coded in symbols, meant to test those who seek it. Only those who understand its true nature can unlock its secrets. The tea was merely a means to reveal your innermost fears and wishes. But why? Eleanor demanded, feeling the anger and betrayal burn in her chest. What's the point of putting us through this? To teach you to look inward, the abbot replied, his voice softening. The Shivoham's true purpose is not to grant wisdom, but to reveal what already lies within you. Only by facing your own mind, your own desires, can you understand the path before you. Singh sneered, crossing his arms. So this was just some elaborate spiritual exercise? He scoffed, shaking his head. I should have known this was all a waste of time. Perhaps it was, the abbot replied calmly. But each of you has glimpsed a part of yourself that you would not have faced otherwise. That, in itself, is the Shivoham's gift. Charlie, Eleanor, and Julian exchanged glances, each of them trying to reconcile their experiences with this revelation. They had been drawn into a web of illusions, but the visions had revealed undeniable truths about their own desires and fears. The Shivoham had held up a mirror to their souls, and what they had seen could not be unseen. Singh, however, was undeterred. He strode toward the book, his expression darkening with frustration. If this book is so powerful, then I will find a way to use it for something worthwhile. Fame, fortune, whatever it can give me. But when he opened it, the pages remained blank, mocking him with their emptiness. Singh slammed it shut in frustration, his face a mask of barely concealed rage. The abbot shook his head, his voice soft and filled with pity. The Shivoham reveals nothing to those who seek it for greed or control. It is a talisman that reflects only what is in one's heart. The companions, now clear-minded, looked to each other, realizing that the real journey was one of self-reflection and discovery, not a quest for hidden knowledge or power. They had all glimpsed something valuable, something to carry forward in their lives, even if they would leave empty-handed. But just as they turned to leave, a strange mark appeared on the cover of the Shivoham, a series of symbols etched in gold. Eleanor stepped forward, her eyes widening as the symbols shifted, aligning into patterns she recognized. It's a code, she whispered, a message for those who see beyond the illusions. The abbot's eyes met hers, and he gave a solemn nod. You are the first to understand. The Shivoham holds knowledge, yes, but it is hidden within its symbols, available only to those willing to decipher it without greed. And as they left the chamber, leaving Singh behind in his frustration, they realized the true nature of the Shivoham. It was not just a book, but a cipher, a guide for those willing to question not only the world around them, but the very depths of their own minds. As they walked through the monastery, the feeling of disorientation faded, the effects of the tea waning. They understood now that the Shivoham's true power lay not in its pages, but in the journey it compelled them to undertake, a journey into their own hearts where the real answers lay hidden. And somewhere, in the dim shadows, the Shivoham waited patiently for those brave enough to unlock its mysteries, one hidden code at a time. Epilogue. This concludes the first part of the journey. Now begins the difficult quest to unravel the secret code within the book of the second death. Originally, it was believed that the symbols were a strange combination of Sanskrit and Tibetan, but on closer inspection, It appears to be of an alien origin and not traceable to any known human language.